Insha, can you hear me?
Kumar, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think you've started the recording, right?
Yeah, I have started the recording. No worries.
Okay. Let me just quickly share the screen. Hello, everyone who has joined on this session. We were extremely sorry due to some commitment, we were not able to deliver the past two sessions, but now we are here again for the session. I'm not feeling a little bit good. I have some issues, so let me know if my voice is not clear to you guys. I'll start with where we end the last session. Unfortunately, we were trying to create some fields on the account objects, and those were not reflecting. Later on, I just found that it was getting created, but sometimes there are lag into the systems, and due to that lag, we were not able to see the changes on the UI at the time when we have created it. If I go on the details section, if I try to quickly remember you guys, we created this checklist field over there, and also we created this normal text field. And then there were three fields which were a normal text field. Okay, so this is one of the fields what we have created: account base location. This is the one, right? These are the four base location, and this is the text location we created for the same. Let's go back to our setup in the object manager on the account in the fields we should use. So what we'll do is we were like working on the pick list field. So let's do something more on the pick list field. What I'll do is I'll go back to this, and this is the field, right? Account based location. So we have four base location over here, and then I'll create one more pick list field. We'll name it as CP, and then we'll give some values over here. And what we'll do is we will click on next, make it visible. So while you see that we have two checklist fields. One is the account based location over here, and then I have created another field called a city. Right now, let's say we have a business requirement where we do not want people to see the fields or the like the values of a particular country to its respective city. For an example, if I select India, I should only see Lucknow and Delhi. Okay. If I select for Pakistan, I should only see Karachi and Lahore. So this is basically when you have different kind of accounts, and where based on region you work on different regions, and there would be a requirement of creating the field dependencies. So the concept that we are trying to implement here is the concept of field dependencies, where fields are dependent on each other based on some value. So we have two fields. This is base location and setting. I'll go back again to your setup, and when you click on fields and relationships, you will see this field called as field dependencies. Okay, we'll click on field dependencies, and it says that nothing has been created. So what we'll do is we'll click on new, and here we have two things: the controlling field and the dependent field. So the controlling field is the one which by its name, right? It would be the one based on that we will select the another field. So in our example, we'll have to select the account based location, the country as in India or Pakistan. So that field would be our controlling field. So we'll give this value as account based location. Now, what is the dependent field we want to create over here? That based on this thing, we will have a dependent city. So I'll click on city over here and click on continue. Now, if you see, this is basically a setup where you can include and exclude the values. Okay, and this is the legend that these values are excluded and what are the included values over here. So let's say for India, what I'll do is I'll select this Lucknow and Delhi. I'll have to use I included it. I included these two values over here. Just give me a minute. And for Pakistan, what I'll do is we select Karachi and Lahore. For Bangladesh, we'll have Dhaka, and for Sri Lanka, we have Colombo. So we have selected these values. Okay, I'll click on include. So this has included these values, and then what we'll do is we'll click on preview once. So it will show us like if I select India, it will only give me Lucknow and Delhi. If I click on Pakistan, it will give me these values over here. Okay, you can also do a preview to see what it would look like, and then you will click on save. We've made the changes. Let's go to the record ones, and we'll go to the details tab. Let's try to choose a location. Let's say I choose Pakistan over here. So do you see that now the other English values are not coming up? We are only seeing Karachi and Lahore. So this is one of the small configuration changes that come up when we'll have to create a field dependencies. So based on these requirements, you can have a controlling and a dependent field, and you can create a field dependency on the field. Okay. Next to it, this is for creating the new field. This is we'll talk later about it. This is one another thing called as set history tracking. So if I go over here, right, on this record, uh, let's say this record has been created and then there has been multiple changes onto a particular field. Let's say revenue. As of now, the revenue is something around 35 lakhs, right? If I change it to, let's say, 4,000 only, I will click on save. But then this is one of the required fields that we have created. So I'll choose India and try to save this record. We have saved this record. Let's say there are multiple people who work on the same account and the same record, and they keep on changing the value. So how would I be able to track the changes on a particular field? So again you can correlate as let's say you work on a project and there are let's say 3 or 5 team members for working on a particular user story with you. And then they're making some changes on the particular field. So how to track what were the previous values, what are the new values of a particular field. So for that, Salesforce gives an option of set history tracking. Okay, you'll have to click on this enable account history, and then you'll have to select which fields you wanted to track. Okay. Also, one thing to be noted is if already there have been made some changes and we have not enabled the account history, then you cannot backtrack the previous changes. For example, the changes that I have made, right, previously on the account revenue field, where I changed it from 35 lakhs to 4,000, it won't get tracked until unless I'll have this thing enabled. So from now onwards, whatever the changes I make changes on this field account revenue, I'll select as the account revenue. Here it is. Okay. It will get reflected. Also, usually you can click on type as well, whatever the type has been changed, right? Some people use it for account number as well if they change the account name or the owner. So these are the fields that you can track. And also we can create a report on this as well. So it is like whenever you get into the project, you'll get some requirement that, okay, we wanted to see that how the revenue has been changing over the period for particular customer on them records. Then you would be able to create a report on the history to whatever you have selected on any object. Okay, so whatever the objects come up, you can see the old and new values over here. Let me just click on save. In the page layout, what I'll do is you have we'll talk on the page layout as well. In the meantime, what I'll just add the okay. This is already added. We'll talk on this. Account list is already added. Okay. We'll click on save. Go back to the record. And just give me a minute. Just trying to add this activity record. Just seeing what is not happening. No duplication. Okay, not able to add it. I'll get back to that on the related fields record. So please give me some time. So we discussed on one of the things called as checklist fields over there and their field dependencies. Now, what we'll do is we'll go back again and we'll have to create a few things. So now we'll talk about the lookup and the uh, there's another relationship called field, which is called as master detail. So, what is the concept of creating a lookup relationship or master detail, right? So, basically, it's like if you want to relate two objects, object A and object B, then this relationship of this came into place where we are relating one particular object to another object. So this is how you link up. And so this is one relationship that is called as lookup relationship. What does it exactly do is it will create a field on the child object and that will relate the data from the parent object. Okay. Let's try to create a lookup. I'll create a lookup on the contact. Also, if you see by default, you can see right there. If I go to the contact object and there it says that like this field account name, right? It's already a lookup on the account. So if I show you over here, I'll click on test user one or maybe this user. So we are viewing the details of a contact, and in the contact we can see the account name as this. So this on a contact object, we are seeing the details of a account details, right? So this is a lookup to it. So on one object, we are seeing the details of another object. So sometimes we'll have to create complex relationship between multiple objects where we can create those lookup fields over there. So just I'm giving a brief example how to do it. I'll share you a detailed trailhead and a module of it so that you will know why we created. I'll just click on new and I'll click on lookup relationship, click on next. So now it says tell which other object we want to relate it. Okay, I want it to relate to the account. I'll click on next. And then you'll have to give the field name, right? I'll say that uh, what would be the field name account. I'll put this up as like this. Okay. over here you see this account fast name, right? So over here, I just created one lookup where if I could select the accounts for an example, and I would be able to save it. Okay. So based on that, now on this particular King's Bakery, I created one lookup where I have clicked the record from the accounts. So based on that, you can create this lookup on any of the fields which are being master in detail. So in this case, our master object is the account, and we always create the lookup fields on the child object. So contact is a child object in this case, and on which we have created the field, and the values that are getting reflected for it is for the parent object. So also the thing is, these are loosely coupled. When we say loosely coupled, as if we delete uh, if we delete any of the records from the child, sorry, from the parent record. For an example, if I delete this account, this contact won't be deleted. Okay, this is the one of the qualities of lookup relationship, that if you delete the parent record, the child record would remain intact. Okay, but we have a special case where there are dependent objects. Okay, so in that thing we have another relationship known as master detail relationship. What they do is, one object acts as a master and the other object is the detail part of it. Okay, so if you delete the master, then all the detailed records will be deleted. So you might be asked a question in your interviews that what is the relationship between account and contact. So basically, it's a special type of relationship, but on the UI level, they work as a uh, lookup relationship, that to one to many. That means one account can have multiple contacts. Okay, so if you go over here and go to accounts, do you see there are two contacts related to this particular account, King's Bakery and Jack Rogers. So they are like one to many. One account can have multiple contacts, and this is one to many relationship. And this is what you say, a lookup relationship. Okay. Now, what I told next is master detail, where if we delete the master object, it will delete the details of the child object. Also, there is another relationship where we have junction object creation. So to understand that, what I'll do is I'll give you. So assume that we have a condition where we'll have to relate two objects to one object. In this, what we have done is we have only related it to one object. I'll also show you how to create a master detail. Let's quickly go to create a master detail in the setup. I've already created one custom object known as project, right? So I'll click on project and I'll go to fields and relationship. It is just a normal custom objects where these are the by default fields that come up when you create it. Okay. I wanted to create a master detail relationship. Okay. So I'll click on new. Over here, do you see what it says, that it is a special type of parent-child relationship between the child or the detail. So when I say child or detail, these are analogous with the parent or the master. Okay, where the relationship field is required on all the detailed records. The ownership is dictated by the master record. Okay, and if the user deletes the master records, all the records are deleted. So let's try to do this. I'm clicking on master detail relationship. Always remember, whenever you have to create the relationship, it is always created on the child object. So you'll have to determine what would be your child object. In this case, I have chosen a custom object over here and I click on next. In the relate to field, I wanted it to relate it to the account object as of now. I click next again. Okay. You'll see this is a child relationship name, that is we are creating uh, a field on the project object, so that is why it is coming up like this. Okay, and it is used for integration purpose. When you go further and when you learn dev skills, it is important because this would be required when you do the SQL queries. These are like analogous SQL queries. Okay. Also, do you see this option called as allow reparenting? Okay, it says that child records can be reparented to other parent records after they are created. So by default, it is unchecked. But in some scenarios, you wanted to change the master of a particular detail object, then you'll have to click on this particular checkbox. To reiterate that, let's say we have we create a record and we associated it with, let's say, master A. Now I want to associate that particular record to master B. So I wanted to change the parent of it. So that's why this option is there. It is also asked in interview questions if you have already created a record and then it is related to a particular master. Then I wanted to change it to another parent record. How would I be able to do it? So that's how you'll have to click on allow reparenting over here. Okay, and this is for the custom report type, which we'll create further. Um, so over here, you see this. I have created one field that is called as on the project object. You see, this is the type master detail on the account, and this is a field name that has been referenced over here. So let's try to go to the project. So you see, we have created that field, right? And then this is a master detail on the project, on the account. You can see this is the project. So if I click on new, I can create new records. As of now, I can just put XYZ, and this is the XYZ that record has been created. Let's try to see from the project itself. You see a record has already been created. Okay, XYZ record has been created on project. So now what I told is if I delete this account, this is it is related to this particular account Burlington, and it's its master record. So if I delete it, then this should automatically get deleted. So let's do it. Let's go to the account. This is the account that I wanted to delete. Here is the checkbox to it, and from the drop down, I am deleting it. So what I'm doing is I'm deleting the master record over here, and okay. So now when I'm trying to delete it, what it says that it this particular opportunity has sorry, this particular account has been part of some opportunities, okay, that are closed one. So this particular opportunity has some error, okay, and that's why it is not letting us getting it deleted. So what I'll do is we'll create a random new account, test account. Uh, why this error has come up? Because we are using a demo org, and this demo org, they have a lot of integration setup and lot of relationship being already set up. So this will give you like whenever you do all the traded exercises. So this has been designed in that way that you use a particular account or those kind of relationships to all the trailheads that you do for the further exercises. if you create a brand new dev org, you won't find all these things because you haven't set it up. But this has been set it up because we wanted to do a lot of exercises and hands-on on Trailhead. That's why there would be some restrictions to it. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll create one new test account quickly so that I'll put some random values quickly and try to save it. Account-based locations are required field. I want it over here. We click on save. So we created a new account that is called as test account. So now, if you remember, if I go to the projects, do you see this XYZ? This is related to this particular account. Okay. What I'll do is I'll go back over here. I click on edit and sorry. Again, if I try to click on delete, see what will happen. It will let me delete this particular project. Okay. Now, this is a test account we have created. I'll click on test account. I'll create a new project for you. This will be XYZ1. Click on save. Okay. This is XYZ1. If we go to projects, we'll see XYZ1 over here. Now, if you click on it, you'll see this. This is a test account that is related to your scenario, right? We have related it. If I go back and I'll delete this master account, I deleted the master account details, and if you go on projects now, you'll see there is no record. The XYZ one that I've just created is been automatically deleted because we deleted the master record over here. So this is the concept of it, the master detail thing. If you delete the master, the detail would be gone. Okay, and these are like tightly coupled to each other, and the master controls the security of the things. We'll go deep down into the security in further sessions, but whatever the security part of it, whatever the relevance of that particular record is being dictated by the master record itself. Okay. Now, there's one thing called as junction object. So I wanted to give you a scenario. Just assume that you have there's an object called as project. Okay, and there's a object called as developer. So in one project, there can be a number of developers or admins who can work on that project. Okay. The developers, right? Let's say developer ABC, they can work on multiple projects. They can work on, let's say, project XYZ, project ABC, project DKC, right? So a person can work on multiple projects, and a project can have multiple developers or multiple persons, right? So uh, this is called as, if you see in a relationship wise, right? A project, single project, multiple developers, that is one to many relationship. Okay, and then one developer can work on multiple projects, then again it is one to many relationship. So now if we have these kind of scenarios where two objects that are related to each other as many to many relationship, then we have a thing called as junction object. So this junction object would be the one which will act as a child object to these master records. Okay, we have just discussed about master detail relationships, and then when we create two master detail relationships on a particular object where we have a common detailed object and two different masters, then we create a junction object so that uh, we can arrange the details, and there would be a junction to the records. I'll show you with this one example. I have already created three objects. Okay, one is project. Other I'll quickly wrap it up. So we have developers. So here, over here, you'll see that there are three objects that I've already created. These all are custom objects, projects, developers, and assignments. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will, as I told, that project and developer could be my master object, because uh, one project can have multiple developers. A developer can work on multiple projects. So we would be requiring a third object known as, we have given the name as assignment, so that it will track both of the details, right? Where I wanted to see that if a developer is working on multiple projects and which projects he's working on, that I then I could get this detail into the assignment, which assignment he's working on. So uh, to do this, what we'll do is we'll on the assignment object we'll create two master details. Okay, I'll go back to the object manager and I'll go to assignment. So this is the detail or the child object where I would be creating two master details over here. So click on next. So first of all, I wanted to relate it with the project. Okay, project, project, and I'll click on next. See, whenever you create a master detail, it will always tell what is the child relationship name that we are creating it on assignment. That's how it is. And I'll click on next again. Save and new. Again, I wanted to create a master detail. Now, this time there would be another object. Okay. This time it would be developers, because we are relating it with developers object as well. I click on next. So over here, I have created two master detail fields on the assignment object. This is the developer and the project. Let's go to the project over here and let's try to create some records. Okay, first I'll have to delete this master detail. So click on new. Project name, let's say give the project name as ERP. Save and new. Again would be SAP, and this would be Salesforce. So over here you see that I've created three projects: Salesforce, SAP, and ERP. Let's try to create some developers over here. So I've created the developer's name, Shaista Ismail Ravi. Let's take that. Okay, so we have created some records on the project and the developers, right? So now in the assignment object, this is our junction object. Okay, if you click on new, what you'll see, this is where you can relate a particular assignment to the project and the developer. So I'll give the name as assignment team one. I'll give this as a team one, where the team one would be working on Salesforce project, and the person who would be working would be Joseph. Okay, I'll give this. I'll give this as assignment one only. Okay, and I'll click on save. Again, I'll go to the assignment. What I did is I just created a list view. I'll explain you quickly this option as well. So basically, let's go to the account, and when you see the accounts, you'll see this option of recently viewed over here, and then you'll see there are a lot of options coming up: all accounts, my accounts, last week, new week, and all these things. So what is the significance of this, of it creating a list view? Basically, how you wanted to see the information on the first row as soon as you open this particular Salesforce application is based on that. There might be 3,000, 4,000, 5 lakh records in your system, and you do not want to see all the records. You wanted to see only the records which are you being concerned of. Okay, so what you can do is you can create your own list view. You can click on the new button. Sorry, this is for the record. From here, list view controls, click on new, and then you can give the name whatever you want might be. I'll put this as test over here, API name, and then whom do you want to who can see this, whether you can only wanted to see it, whether you wanted to customize it for all the users, or whether you wanted to share with some specific set of users. Okay, if you click this option, it would be available for everyone. Let's say in this org there are 5,000 users, everyone would be able to see this test list view. Okay, if you click on share with this person, then it will ask you to whom you wanted to share with. We'll discuss public roles and these things in further sessions. But as of now, just assume that this is like WhatsApp group. Public groups is a WhatsApp group, just for the references. And there are certain roles in the Salesforce. So it will give you the option of customization from which you wanted to share with what kind of users. As of now, I'm just putting it to I only wanted to see this. This is where you wanted to see the data that is personal to you. You do not want everyone user to see it. You click on this, and then you click on save. Okay. Then if you see on again on click over here, there's an option called as which fields you wanted to display. So when I was working on this, I'll just duplicate it. When I created the two records over here, I was seeing the recently viewed, which was only showing me assignment one. So from the user face itself, I was not able to see other relevant details. So what I did is I created a new list view a few minutes back where where from the screen itself, I can see the name of the project and the developer. I do not have to go into this record and then see these details. Okay. Same way on the accounts, if I wanted to see what are the account sites and everything, I can customize it over here. What you will have to do is just click on fields to display. What fields you wanted to display, you can select it from here. For an example test location, I'll put it over here. This is to add and this is to remove it something. If I remove account site, you will go this way. Okay. You can only select 15 fields to view. I'll click on save. So now you see this test location has come up. So most of the time, whenever you work on the Salesforce projects, the customer would ask you to create the customized list view for them. Some customers would be from, let's say, USA, or they would do not want to see the details from the UK list views and all. So you can curate a list view for them. And also there's one option called as filters over there. So as of now, it is showing only my accounts. So you can choose all the filters, and also there's an option called as add filter. So what is the filter thing over here? This is just like uh, you're filtering the records based on some particular conditions. Okay. uh, these are the fields, and based on these fields you can for example, let's say you wanted to do it on the parent account. So if the parent account is Facebook, then show all the accounts. Or if I am the owner of all the accounts and I wanted to see, I can choose owner first name, and I'll put my name is Muhammad, and it will show all the accounts which have the owner first name is Muhammad. Okay. Uh, Whatever value you wanted to pick it up, you can pick it up from here, and based on that, you will see the record. Okay. So this is for quick customizations of your UI, where you will customize the list views. Going back again, what we're discussing on the assignments, I just created one record over here. Assignment one, I'll do quickly. Assignment two. This time I'll relate it to SAP, and the developer would be Shaista, and save the new. Assignment three, I'll put it as ERP, and the developer would be Ravi, and save. I'll go back to the assignments, again change the view. I'll pin this one. So this is option of pinning as well. So if you could see, every time when I was clicking on this assignment, right? Let me pin this. I'll pin this one. So every time when I was clicking on assignment, I was seeing the previous view itself, right? I'll have to again go back to this new view that I've created. So what the users can do it, they can pin the list view. So this is called as pin list. This is coming like this. I'll click on unpin. So when I and over here, so now this has been pinned up, okay, and this has been unpinned, and now you every time I'll be using this record. So over here we have three records where the assignment has been assigned to this particular users, and this is the one. Now I'll click on another record where I put it as assignment 4, and see I'm able to search for Salesforce, and then the developer would be, let's say, Smile. Again, coming back to the, so over here you can see that for project Salesforce, we have two developers who are working, Joseph and Smile, and they are working on different assignments. So this is how you can do the correlation between different objects, and based on the requirement. So this assignment is working as a junction object over here. Now, as I say, assignment is a junction object, and also on which this is the object where we created the master detailed relationship. So this is a detailed object, and we all know if we delete the master, right? If we delete the master record, this would get deleted. Okay. So now in this case, we have two masters. One is the project, other is the developer. So if I delete the Salesforce project, what will happen? Uh, if you are, if you have the chat option enabled, can anyone tell me if I delete the Salesforce record from the project over here, what will happen? Arjun says nothing will happen. Okay. Anyone else? Assignment 1 and 4 will be deleted. Okay. Assignment record will be deleted. Okay, let's see it. So I'm deleting this parent record. Now, if we go to the assignment, you see 1 and 4 have been automatically deleted. Why? Because we have created a master detail relationship, and as we deleted the master, right? Both of those got deleted. Now what I'll do is I'll again create one assignment. Assignment 5. I'll put it as SAP. Okay, now what I'll do is okay, this I'll have to change the detail. Okay, now we have a developer called as Shaista. She's working on SAP in the ERP project as well. Okay, so what will happen if I delete the ERP record or the Shaista record? If we delete the child record, then what happens? Okay, cool. So if you delete the child record, we'll do it in front of you. Directly, if you delete the assignment, right, nothing will happen. The record get automatically deleted. Your parent record should always be there. I'll show you assignment 6. This is your child record. I'm attaching it with ERP, giving the developer as Ravi. Clicking on save. This is our assignment 6. This is we have just created. If we just delete it, see we have ERP and Ravi as project and developer. Click on delete. Delete it. Your developer Ravi is intact. ERP is intact. Okay. So if you delete the child record, nothing will impact the parent record. This is with the just to the master detail. Okay. And then Arjun has asked, can we place filter on billing state to show only users specific to US? Uh, if you select the billing state, right, it will show only the records which are specific to US billing state, but not to the users, right? For users, you'll have to select the roles and hierarchy. Okay. Let me explain you again. Uh, for example, your question is related to going back to the accounts, and I go to the filter over here. This is a test filter. Okay, and you ask for the billing state. So over here, these are two-way abbreviations of all the US states over here. Okay, if I go to the filter and add filter, I'll select for billing state and province, and I select ins or maybe IL is for Illinois, and I click on done. So what will happen? Only one record will come up where the billing country is Illinois. Okay. It will not impact the users. It will only show the value of this record. Now, in your condition where you wanted the users to only see the records based on where they are based on, so you'll have to create the rules, okay, and their region, and then based on that fields, you can put it up. For an example, let's say you create 5 users, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 3 users have a field called region as, let's say UK, okay. Uh, so then again you will come up and go to region maybe if let's say if we have this field or not, account region. Okay, I think they do not have a by default field, but yeah, maybe account number or something, and then they or maybe account source, and then based on that, yeah, assume that this is a region field, and then you have selected phone inquiry. So then you have when you have created the users, only the users which are in US have been created and they've been given this value. So once you select it up and then put the filters, it will show to the US users only. Okay, but this is just the value of the record where it says that this account belongs to this Illinois billing state and the province. Okay, so this is based on the field value, not on the user's value. This is based on the account object, not on the user object. Okay, can fields be displayed will work on the related can fields to be displayed will work on the related object. It's based on how you created the relationship, right? Both the field that if you create the master detail, it will always come up on your master object. Okay. If you create the vice versa, it will go with the vice versa. Now again, going back to that assignment where I asked one question, let me quickly refresh that. What will happen if I delete this Shaista, who is one of the master record, right? We have SAP, she's working in SAP project, she's working in ERP projects as well. Okay, so let's try to delete this record, Shaista. We deleted this record. Coming back to the assignment, do you see what happened? That all the child records, assignment 2 and assignment 4, got automatically deleted. Okay, so that's how it works for master detail and the junction object. Okay, please repeat list view 1. Okay, I'll go on account. Uh, can you specify what exactly you wanted to know, Jahan? Can you specify what exactly you wanted to know about the list view? Or if I again give you, I'll again explain you. Okay. So this is a UI, general UI. You logged into the system and you get this particular UI. Maybe let's say if you have some lead records or not. Yeah. So do you see when I open this lead reports, what it comes as? It comes as recently viewed. Recently viewed means the record that we recently viewed, uh, but we do not have viewed any of the lead reports. Hence, nothing is coming up. Okay. Then you see there are some by default list views that has been created by the system itself. So if you create on today's lead, there are no leads created. If it has been created, it will come up. Okay. And then there are some custom views and then open leads and all. So I click on open leads. Okay. And over here, I can see there are certain fields which are coming up. Okay. If I click on this record of Bertha Boxer, I can see all the things in details, like the title, web source, and all those things. And now, as soon as I view this, it has now come into the recently viewed. Okay, you cannot customize recently viewed list view. It's a by default standard list view which you cannot customize. Okay, over here, if you create custom list views, you would be able to do so. But if you see over here, see all the options are grayed out for you. Also, you see this another thing called recently viewed leads. This is equivalent to recently viewed. Okay, this is also you cannot customize. But then, if you wanted to have your own view where you wanted different fields to be set up, what you will have to do is you'll have to click on new. You'll have to give the name. Okay. So let's try one example where I click on open leads. Okay. Now, if you see in this, I have 15 open leads where the working status is being like open contacted and working contacted. They have been created all on the same day. Okay. Had it been created on the different date, we could have put up the filters. Owners are the same because I am the one handling it, and there are different emails to it, and the company is name. Okay, I'll click on new list view for openly contacted leads. Okay, I'll click on save. So this is my list view. It shows me 22 records as of now. Now you'll have to click on filters. Okay. Now what is the field lead status? Here I wanted to do the filters where I wanted specific fields to come up. I wanted working contacted only to come up and click on save. So now in my list view, only those records will come up which are with the lead status of working contacted. Okay. So this is how you can put multiple filters on it. Let's say now I wanted this particular email, only this email. Okay. What I'll do is I'll click on new filter, I'll click on email, and I'll put this value as email, and see only one record will come up. You can delete this, click on save, again the filters will be there. So based on the customer's requirement or the client requirement, you can customize these fields. You can select the fields, what fields you wanted to put it up. You can only select 15 fields over there. If I let's say this is so I have sent a lot of fields, and when I click on save, okay, and then go again, click save fields to display. See, when I try to save it, it says you can only display up to 15 fields. Okay, so this is one thing. So that's how you can customize your list view over here. Also, one thing to be noticeable is this list view would only show 2,000 records. Okay, it is the limit of it. So let's say in your org you have 10,000 records. So it will only show the first 2,000 records in the list view. Okay. So another thing is there's a thing called fetch this list, right? There are 15 records, 12 records in this list. If you see over here, and I search for Bartha, I'm able to find it. Nice. Again, if I search for, let's say, Tom, which is at 11 number, it's coming up, right? Now, let's say you have 2,000 records, it will again show that those records. But if your search record is coming up at the position of 2002 or maybe 2010, 2015, then it won't come up into this list view. Okay. So that is one of the limitations of the list views. It is not an alternative of reports. It is just the UI where you can put up the filters, and based on that, a record will be shown to you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. If you have any further questions, you can ping me on LinkedIn, and we'll good to go on the discussion. We've discussed on the list views and master data relationships and all. Now I wanted to show you, again we'll go to the object manager and the account, fields and relationships. Okay, so what we'll do is we will create some other fields that would be a formula field in this case. Okay. So basically, a formula field is an expression. Based on that, you will get the values. Okay. I'll click on next. So over here, when you click on the formula field, it shows what kind of return type do you want. What whenever you create a formula and it's been evaluated, what kind of value it should give us. Whether it give a checkbox value, okay, a currency value, date and time, number, percentage, text time, whatever you want, right? These are the return types. So based on whatever formula you configure, it will give you values based on these things only. Okay. So let's try to create a formula. So we wanted to create a formula on an opportunity object that would whenever the opportunity is closed one, there's a status on the opportunity object is the field, right? So then since there's opportunity is being won, right, we wanted to show that there's a 10% commission on that particular opportunity record. Okay. So how we will do it? We would go to opportunity of fields and restrictions, same thing. Click on new formula, right? We wanted to create a formula, and what would be the type of it, right? So we'll go over here, and then since we are working we wanted to calculate the commission, and commission is currency based, right? We will select the return types as currency. Let's give this value as commission. It will automatically take the field API name. Okay, and it would be currency. Okay, and then I'll click on next. So over here, this is a panel of how you can create a formula. Okay, so this shows that on which uh, field you're creating the formula. Like this is the object, and then these are the fields which you can put as merge, and then these are the operators that you can put it. Okay, so I wanted it that this particular field should be amount, and amount into I wanted to give 10% commission, right? So whatever is value of the amount into 0.10. So what we'll do is you can click over here, click on multiply, and you can put this is a very basic formula, right? You can do a lot of customizations on formula. I would give you a cheat sheet and a link to it where you can create different formulas. This is just to show you how you can create a formula. Okay, over here, and then you'll click on check syntax. So it says no errors. You can put some description over here that it calculate the commission when the opportunity is closed one. Okay, this is it, and then click on next, make it visible to everyone, and I'll save it. Let's go to the opportunity record. This is one opportunity record. So what I'll do is do you see the commission values coming at 0? Because for this we have created, there's no amount, right? Let's give some amount. I'll put it up 9999. Click on save. So the 10% of 999, that is 999, is over here. Let's round it up. So do you see, on an opportunity object, we have a field called an amount, where we have created a formula that the commission field would be 10% of the amount field. This is what we have created over here. If you see formula, currency, and what is the formula? That amount into 1. Okay, amount into 0.01, 0.1. So that means it is calculating the 10% of the amount. So this is a very basic formula that I've created. Now, based on this formula, right, we have a condition that it will only calculate when the stage is a particular value. That means if the stage field has a value of closed won, then only it gives the discount or the commission, the commission to the sales rep. And if the stage name is not set to closed won, it won't give any commission to it. So to understand that, I'll show. As of now, it is showing me only one opportunity. I'll click on all opportunities, and this is the one that we have just saw. Okay, let's try to display the field commission next to amount. From here, you can move it up. Next one, click on save. So here, if you see all the records where there's a certain amount and the commission field is coming up with a value, because we haven't put any conditions to this formula. This formula is just directly what it's doing. It is calculating 0.1% of this particular amount field to this commission. Okay. Now I'll go back to my formula over here, and now we'll have to make it as an advanced formula where the condition would be the value should only come up if the stage is closed won. If you see over here, there are a lot of stages of opportunity, prospecting, qualifications, decision makers, and all these things. And for every record, it is calculating the commission. But I wanted to calculate the commission only for the records where the stage is set to closed won. Okay, then how I would be able to do so? I'll have to go over here and click on advanced formula. So when you click on advanced formula, you will see 2-3 things. One is called as insert field, where you can insert whatever these are the fields what you wanted to insert. Okay. And then this is a formula over there. And now on your right hand side, you would be seeing, okay, a lot many functions has already come up. Okay. These are the functional categories. These are different functions which have a different role, like they have a different utility. Okay, so blank values to calculate a blank value, right? Begins calculate any string that begins with some letter, right? Add months, it would be like if you wanted to add 2 months to a record, it will add the months to the record. So these are different functions that you will learn once you once you use into your daily life. There's a documentation to it where you would be able to understand what is a functionality of is blank, is null, is number. This is a check thing where it's check if it is null value, then do this. If it is blank, then do this. And then this is called as is pick value. Okay, so it is used to pick the value from the pick list fields. So we know that this box, right, the stage value where you wanted to put this formula, right, it's a stage value, right? So what we'll do is we would pick the pick list field is practice pickle solution over here. I'll click on over here. I'm putting it to the next field so that you can understand what it says that is pick var. So it is picking a value and then it is and what are the parameters to it? Which field is the pick list field and what are the text labels to it? Okay, so uh, our field is on the opportunity we have stage, right? I'll insert it. I'll copy it from here and put it over here. So we are putting the condition for a moment. Ignore this amount into one. This is already we have created. Now we are modifying this particular formula. So what we did is we give the first condition where uh, is pick var would be checking for the stage name, and then it says what value it would be. Okay, so we'll have to give a value over here. We'll go back and we'll select the value. It would be in double inverted commas. Okay. So in this condition is only checking if the stage name is closed one. Okay. Then what will happen? You'll have to give a if condition over here. Okay. Let's put the if condition. So now I'm breaking the formula for you so that you can understand how to put the formulas, these functions into the formula. Now, when I pick this if formula, what it says, if there's a logical test, then you'll have to give the value true and value false. So if uh, let's say Umar belongs to Salesforce organization, give the value as true, else give it as zero. Okay. So this is the expression of if. So what we'll do is we would evaluate this. This is our evaluating condition, right? So we'll copy this condition and we'll put this logical over the logical test. Okay. Now, what will happen if the pick list value is being selected to closed one? What you want? I want my amount to be multiplied by 10%, right? I'll put this value. And then if it is not the same value, what will happen? It should show zero. Okay, so this is my formula where I have used two functional functions over there. Okay, so let's break this formula. We have used first of all pick val where it picks the value from the stage name field as closed one. Okay, this was the one part. Then we gave the if condition. If we chose the value is closed one, then this would come up like amount would be multiplied to 0.1, and if the stage is something different, value should come up as 0. Click on check syntax. Okay, and I will save it. So now if you go back to the records and click on refresh, now you see a thing that we've been discussing, right? Your uh, the stage values, right? If you see for prospecting, it is showing a 0. For closed ones, the formula field worked up. So all the stages which has closed one would be showing up as with some value, but all the other fields which do not have the stage as closed one would have been coming as 0. Okay. Hello. Just give me a minute. Please hear me. Okay, will say yes. Okay. Please hear me clearly. Okay. One minute. Fine now. It's fine now. At all. Let me know how it is now. You able to hear me? Okay. Uh, Let me just quickly check what are the comments. Sorry, I did not get how you can display the records above 20,000. It is 2,000. You cannot display the records above 2,000. To display that, you will have to work on the filters. If I explain you that, it would be a bit complex how you can show the records. I'm referring to Nabil's question over here, but it would only give you 2,000 records in the list view. That is a limitation to Salesforce. I'll show you. Due to SQL limitation, list view are limited to the first 2,000 records. Okay. So this is what I referred when I told 2,000 records, because it works on from the backend. When you select the filters, right, there's a SOQL query that runs from the backend. So for an example, let's say your criteria is meeting 5,000 records, but only 2,000 records will show up. Then what you'll have to do, you'll have to show some, you'll have to do some customizations on the list view. If you wanted to see that, I can just quickly let you know. It is a bit out of context for other people, but let's assuming that you have to use your vision over here, that let's say it is not 32 records, it is 5,000 records, and for all the 5,000 records are meeting my criteria which I've already selected in the filters. Okay, over here if you see the opportunity name, that is in the alphabetical order. Okay, so bakery 1 is the record number 1, and let's say this University of SLA is coming as 32, assuming that your 2001st record is with the name of Xenia. Okay, it won't come up because it will only come up with the 2000 record, that is the last record, and that is, let's say, Jafar. So Jafar is a 2000 record which is coming up over here, and Xenia is not coming up. Now, if you wanted to see that record for just the UI purpose, just do one thing, change this filter so that you see the values from the bottom. Okay, so when you do this, the bottom 2000 records would come up. So out of those 5,000 records, from 5,000 to 3,000 records will come up. This is just for UI purposes. For reporting and all, you have to use the reports. But sometimes customers do not understand. They say that why I'm not able to see the records, why I'm not able to fetch it. This is the reason why you're not able to fetch it up. Okay. What kind of questions can be asked for the interviewers regarding that is just a basic limit, Nabil. There won't be many such questions. Just that when they ask you about the search functionality, right? You can just always let them know that by the list view, you can only search for the first 2,000 records. If you wanted to search more records, what you'll have to do is you will have to create the report, or what we can do is we can change the we can change the sorting, okay? And based on those sortings, that records can be viewed, because your SQL query, if anyone is know how to write a SQL query or a SQL query in Salesforce. So for an example, if I write select opportunities, select let's say select stage name, the field's name from opportunities. Okay, it will show me all the records. If I say select uh, field name, stage name, everything, opportunity name from opportunity object, where I give the sorting clause. Okay, sorted by opportunity name. Then it will sort the records. So this is how from the backend the SQL query is working, and that is why you're only seeing the 2000 records. Let me know, Nabil, if that answers your question. Also, I missed if you put false instead of zero, then what happens? Okay, then you will have to check Nureja, because if operators usually work on the record type that we are. Good question. I'll answer that it for you. Whenever you have such doubts, what you can do is just go to this and try to put it as false, okay, instead of zero, and you will get some error. Also, what you have done, you have uh, you have chosen commission field, which will, and the return type of the this field was currency. Okay, so it will either give the value in currency, right? So when you change the format of it and you put it as false, right, it is a string character, so this won't take it up. I hope that answers his questions as well. Okay, and what else we had? Yeah, let me know if that answers your question, Ureja. And I think Nabil, you have also got the answer as well. So that was on the list view part, and that is how you create a simple formula, and then based on that you can evaluate your different things. Okay. Also, hmm, we'll check for one more thing. I know we are out of time, but I'll take more 2 or 3 minutes to discuss one quick topic, because the more you practice on these topics, you will get to know about different functionalities. It is impossible to tell all the functions over here. Those are very easy functions, and then when you start doing it, you will be able to do so. So there's one thing called as validation rules. So, what are these validation rules? So, as per the name, right, they do some validation uh, on the records, and they stop you based on a certain conditions whether you would be able to create more records or not. Okay. So, when you go to this opportunity, you have this option called as a validation rule. Okay, and you have to click on new. This you'll find on the left hand palette of any of the objects. Okay, and then over here you'll have to give the rule name. Okay, so basically I wanted to create a rule name where the users are forced to choose a close reason whenever they are putting the opportunity stage to close lost. So what we are referring is, if I go to any opportunity, let's say this opportunity, you have AZ installations, okay, and let's see what other. Okay, so let's say I'm changing the value of this field close lost, and try to clicking on save. I'm able to save it, right? This is the record. Okay, whenever I say this is a record, this is, we are working on a particular opportunity, and also uh, when you see your URL bar, just next to opportunity, you are seeing the 18-digit ID. Okay, this is a unique identifier of this particular record. So for an example, I just copy it up, okay, and I delete everything from here. Just that it is just my domain where I'm working on, and I just put this ID. It will take me to the same record. Okay. So at times you would be given the record IDs instead of the record name by your client. So that's how you can just copy it up. After the force.com, you just paste it up and you will get to the exact record. Okay. Also, one thing. So if you see accounts, right? This is also an interview question as well. Not a basic level question, but just we are discussing it up. I wanted to tell you this as well. If you see on accounts, it is coming up with 001. Okay. If you go to the contact records, it is coming up with 003. Uh, Opportunities is, I guess, 006. Yeah. So this is how like different objects have a different initial identifier starter. So that is also this was asked to me when I gave my first interview, and they asked, okay, if you know about the record IDs, can you tell me what record ID start with 001? So that was accounts. I was not able to tell, but yeah, that was out of the random. So there's a documentation to it. I would send it by tomorrow on the in the chat WhatsApp chat group so that you can review. Nothing of much important, but then when you further work on cases, then you will understand that okay, why it's of significance knowing the record IDs. Okay. So we were on the opportunity, right? And here we just saw that we were able to change the stage value without anything, right? I changed the value from something to close lost, and I was able to save it, and I do have to do nothing, right? There's no validation to it. So close lost means you have lost this opportunity. You are no further. You can create a prospect out of it, and it is a red thing. So when you're working and you have your salesperson, right, and they are telling that okay, we have lost this particular opportunity, so they should not be able to save this opportunity until unless they give a reason to it. Okay, that this is a reason of why we are not able to uh, why we are not able to close it up. So what we'll do is on the opportunity, let me quickly duplicate that and see this relationship. I'll quickly create one field. This field would be a text area field. Close reason. Let's say if it is coming up. Okay, so this is a closed reason field that I just created, and it is over there. So what I wanted to do is my representative should not be able to save this particular record until unless they give the close reason. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create a validation rule on the same. So let's go to this, and the rule name would be close reason is required whenever the opportunity is lost. Okay, and then you can, it is always good to give a description of the particular why you wanted to do so. So this is a description. So whenever the other person checks, okay, why this validation is put in place, when they can see, okay, they should, this is the reason why they've created this validation rule. Okay, so now we have three conditions. Again, we'll have to use a is equal function, and in this case the stage name would be close lost, and then we'll have to give the formula. Okay, so what I'll do is we'll this is one of the validation rule. What it says that I've used this is file from this operator, right? And then the stage name is close one and is blank. We have given this. Okay, so if this condition is true, then you'll have to show this validation rule. What it says, if the stage name is set to close lost and the close reason field is blank, okay, then we'll have to show the particular validation rule. Click on check syntax. It says, okay, no errors, it's all good. Okay, and then you'll have to give the error message. Okay, what is the error message would be? So you should you should give an close reason when the opportunity is close lost. Okay, and then it says it where you wanted to give this particular validation on the field. Which field? Close reason. Okay, so wherever the field, this field would be placed up, the validation error would come up there only. Okay, and then what you'll have to do is you just have to save it. So this is my validation rule. What it says that uh, if you are when the opportunity closed off, you have to choose a close reason. Let's go to the records. Since we have already made changes to these records, we'll have to again make it to the back value. Okay, so now I've changed it to proposal price code. Previously, when I changed it to close lost, the nothing came up, right? I was able to do it. Now let's see if I am able to do so now or not. I click on close lost. As soon as I click on close lost, it says we hit a snag. Review the following fields. Okay, and over here, what it says, this is the error message that we have given up. You must enter a close reason when the opportunity is closed lost. So I'll have to give a reason. Okay, if I try to keep it blank and save, it won't let me save because I've given the formula as if is blank. Okay, I've given the is blank. If it is blank, I have to have some value. Okay, so I'll have to give we lost the prospect some due to ARR issues. Okay, then it will only help me to save the particular record, this validation rule. Okay, so this is a very basic example how you can put up the validation rule. You can put it up on account, revenue, anything. If you are creating any account that has more than 10 contacts, it won't let you save another contact. You can give the validation on that. Let's say you have created a field. That field is in a country field, or maybe not a country field. Let's say if it is account number or account phone numbers field, and someone is entering 11 values and it is getting saved, but you have to give the validation that the length of the particular field should be 10 only, as per the Pakistan standard phone telephony, Indian standard telephony, something like this, so that you can create a hell lot of validation rules. There's a dedicated trailhead link to it, and also there's a cheat sheet to it. You can do a lot of practice on based on the conditions, and then you will slowly understand what other functions are available, how to insert the fields over there, and then also, yeah, and also there's one thing. Yeah, we'll discuss the things on further. We are out of time. I'm really sorry. Yeah, Rimsha, you there? Rimsha? Rimsha, can you hear me? Are you? I guess she has to leave. She has some emergency, so I thought she is left. But yeah, we are wrapping up this session. I hope you were able to get something out of it. We have a lot of things to discuss. I'm keeping it on a slow pace because I wanted to you guys to really understand what things are up. Okay, and we can take it in a fast pace as well. But then there are small things that you need to get it up. So yeah, let's wrap up this session. Rimsha has to go up. Okay. Thank you for your attendance and in this session. Take care. Bye bye.